Tech for Seniors, episode 68. It is July the 12th. Welcome, everyone. We have 88 people joined us today. Great. This is good. I have to apologize to everyone this morning. We have a construction crew right above me. They're taking out the doors of my house and redoing the deck. And this is the day that the experts come to lay down the super duper membrane that's going across. So they wouldn't change it to Tuesday. So if you're hearing any banging or crashing, I'm wearing my earphones, so hopefully you won't hear that. But if you hear any banging or crashing, that's what's happening. Welcome, everyone. It's nice to see everyone. Hopefully everyone's having a great July. We are, of course, just to explain to everyone, we are, of course, running two services. We're running our Zoom meeting, which is today, and it is a Zoom meeting, but we're over also on our YouTube channel, and we are broadcasting live. Just to remind you that, of course, we have our Tech for Senior live meeting on Thursday at 9 o'clock. This week, of course, will be Bill James will be joining us, as he will be away. And so Bill will be there this Thursday. It is not a Zoom meeting. We always have people trying to join on Thursday morning and they click the Zoom link. And of course, it's not a Zoom meeting. Our Tech for Senior Live, of course, is broadcast on through our Facebook feed and our YouTube feed as well. So just to let everyone know, that's what's happening. The meetings are pretty similar. We're going to be going for an hour today, and then we'll have a Q&A period after that. But for those of you over on the streaming service, we will be stopping the streaming service at about 10 minutes to the hour, just before Ray's music. We usually have lots of room, so if you want to flip back over and come into the Zoom meeting and get into the question and answer, you can certainly do that. That's great. I would ensure, I want to thank, we had one donation this week to our coffee fund. Thank you, Ray Baxter. Thank you so much. Now, I'd like to introduce the staff today. Hewie, of course, where's Hewie? You made it. You're going to live. Did you want to just give us just 3 words or less how great your internet is now with 1 gigabyte up? We've never met anyone that has 1 gigabyte up. You better unmute yourself.
No, I'm not going to unmute myself. No, my testing is showing me over 900 megabits per second up and down.
Oh my gosh, you sound awful clear.
Rub it in, rub it in.
And I also have a new router coming today. I ordered it this morning, and Amazon will deliver it sometime later this afternoon.
All right, I'm sure you're going to tell us more about that as the weeks go on, but well done. And again, just to remind everyone, check your services because it's often not much more to upgrade. Bob, Windows 11, you are rolling here. What do you think? Give us in 3 words or less. Can you tell us what you think so far?
1 step up from Windows 10.
Okay, thanks so much. That's good. And where's Dewey? Dewey, I want to know how those steaks turned out on your new barbecue last night.
I'm absolutely excited about the wonderful quality of infrared cooking, and I'll do a presentation on it in a few weeks. It's really great. I'd like to mention something else very briefly. I just discovered an unfortunate error in my presentation today. So when I'm talking about Sling TV's overlapping channels, it should have been the non-overlapping channels are so forth. Okay.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Hey, listen, I'm really excited about, I want to see barbecues or technology, and you are the technology guy, and this is a technology barbecue. So I'm absolutely waiting to hear about this. I'm excited.
Yes. Well, my son, who has a PhD in science, explained things about infrared cooking that I never knew, and some of that will be included when I have my presentation.
Oh, that's great. That's so much. And Ray, vinyl records, we're going to learn all about that today. Well, you know, that's sort of cool.
Well, this is something you led me down this path, sending me the link to this new service that Amazon is putting out, and I'm going to talk about that today and get to see if everybody else's opinion as to whether or not this is going to be as successful as most of Amazon's ventures have been.
Exactly. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for doing that. We'll talk in a few minutes. And maybe I've got a big box of vinyl records. Maybe I'm going to bring them to Mesa this year and I'll give them to you on my way down. I'll drop them off at your house. Okay.
That's a deal.
That's a deal. Yeah, that'd be great. And thank you, Ellen Farnham, for again doing the work you do for indexing our show and keeping it all up to date for us. That's working out great. Now, for those of, just let me get I want to share my screen again. I must say that I've been remiss on, let me just share my screen. I wanted to, and I do apologize. Now, someone asked a couple of weeks ago what I used for my Oculus and what software it was that I was using. And I forgot, I had a brain, a senior's moment. I couldn't remember because I use it all the time. But so this is the software that I use, and you wanted to know, and it's called VZ Fit. And this is, you can either use it, so what it is basically on your device, you can move your arms, you can be on a bike, or you can cycle. And there are, of course, routes, and the routes are all over the world. You can go cycling, you can go exercising, you can go up and down the streets, and you can go wherever you want. And there are clubs, and it's a big organization, and they're in all the countries in the world. So if you want to go cycling in Australia, you can do that. Now, the cost of this is around $10 a month. It's a subscription service, but it is free of charge if they give you one sort of route per month. And if you just want to do the standard route that they give you, and that's the free one, then that's fine. But if you want to subscribe to it, and so it doesn't matter. In this case, this girl's moving, and she's just moving her arms. So you actually don't have to have a bike to cycle or any stationary thing. You can just stand there and move your arms with the device, and it will propel you down the road or wherever you want to go. And it works very well. And so that is called VZ Fit. It's very popular. A lot of people use it around the world. So I apologize for not getting that earlier for you, but that's the service that's available for that. Bob, are you about ready to roll with your security?
I think so. I have a new 27-inch monitor. I'm finding the button is should be easier, but it's really not. Here is the Avast Security News Roundup for the week ending March 9th,
Can't hear you.
Yeah, it's 9th, 2021. Twitter considers new security features. Twitter People Experience designer Lena Amara tweeted 4 new Twitter security features concepts, asking users for feedback on whether or not they should move into development. Privacy is one of those things everyone wants, but it's not a one-size-fits-all, Amara tweeted. Before going into details on each idea, the first idea, replies, gives users an easy way to make their tweets public if they like to make a response to a non-follower viewable. The second idea, account breadcrumbs, provides easy and quick switching between multiple profiles. Privacy sets allows users to pick from various security presets depending on their needs. The final idea, discover me or not, alerts users when someone searches their username. It also lets users choose whether or not they'd like to be found that way. These are just ideas and not being built yet, so your feedback is helpful, Amara wrote. Avast security evangelist Louis Carones reminds users that They should keep their expectations in check, as a user having more options to control your privacy is desirable and a good move, he said. But in this case, it seems that they are thinking about making it easy to switch off or pause your privacy settings when, for example, replying to non-followers. Let's be honest, a social network is the opposite of privacy, so we had better be extremely cautious whenever we use them. Avast discovers malware in Mongolia. Researchers at Avast found that a public web server hosted by MonPass, a certification authority in Mongolia, had been compromised to secretly spread malware to unsuspecting users through a malicious installer. The installer utilized the legitimate installer, guaranteeing that everything would look normal to the user, but added an unsigned PE file, which then retrieved Cobalt Strike binaries from the web. Cobalt Strike is a security testing tool, but bad actors can abuse it to deploy malware or exfiltrate data. Avast released an analysis of the discovery when MonPass confirmed it had taken steps to address the issue. For more on this story, see ZDNet. Audacity Audio now turns out not to be spyware. Over the weekend, a couple of tech news websites warned users about popular open source audio editor Audacity, claiming the app's new policy of collecting telemetry is overreaching and vague, and likened it to spyware. According to Ars Technica, the negativity seems to have both massively overblown and quite late. New Audacity owner Muse Group alerted users to the new policy of collecting telemetry back on May 4th. At that time, the data collection was presented as activated by default with an opt-out feature. Immediate pushback from the Audacity community convinced Muse Group to amend their policy 3 days later, saying that it would instead be deactivated by default with an opt-in feature. Also, Ars Technica adds, the data being collected is hardly different from that collected by other standard apps. Pro-Trump site Getter hacked on the day of launch. On July 4th, the official launch day of former President Donald Trump's Twitter lookalike app Getter, the platform was hacked. The accounts of Mike Pompeo, Steve Bannon, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Getter CEO Jason Miller were among those that had been taken over and replaced with pro-Palestinian messages. The hack lasted less than 90 minutes, and the hacker told Business Insider that he did it simply because it was easy, taking only about 20 minutes of work. He said that while Getter had fixed the bug he had used to infiltrate the platform, it was still easy for anyone to scrape personal data from that site. They should not publish the website before making sure that everything, or at least almost everything, is secure, he said. Wi-Fi network names can disable Wi-Fi on iOS devices. Security researcher Carl Shu discovered that certain Wi-Fi networks that contain a percentage symbol in their names can disable the Wi-Fi function in iOS devices. Even after resetting network settings, Shu found the bug can continue to render Wi-Fi services unusable. 9to5Mac suggested the reason is because the percentage symbol is commonly used to format variables into an output string. Therefore, the Wi-Fi subsystem might read the network name and pass it to an internal library of string formatting, thus causing a memory write and buffer overflow, and the killing of the process. Apple has not commented on the bug yet. For more on this, see The Verge. Whose data is this anyway? Recently, Avast writer David Strom wrote about data brokers. The experience highlighted the fact that we don't have full control over our personal info and data. David wrote, "Recently I tried to remove my own data and found it to be a very frustrating online rabbit hole. You will find either tasks to be nearly impossible, and sadly, this is by intent and by design. They charge by the gigabyte and aren't paid for being accurate. And you don't pay them anything, so you aren't really the customer. You are just the unwilling victim." Find out more at the link. Find out more at the following link. And that wraps up this week's Avast Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure. I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Well, thanks, Bob. We'll be hearing from you shortly. Thanks a lot. That was interesting. And we'll move on now to, I'll share my screen. And we'll get Dewey's up.
Good morning, friends. I'm Dewey, and my Tech Talk topic for today is Live TV Streaming Services, Part 2. Live TV streaming services are similar to cable and satellite TV services in that they both typically offer a lineup of cable-type channels and local network stations at a fixed monthly cost. Live TV streaming services also include a channel guide and a cloud DVR function for time shift recording or watching. These two factors usually differentiate live TV streaming from on-demand TV streaming only services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, and so forth. Last week, I covered the two elephants in the room, YouTube TV and Hulu with Live TV. Both of these services cost $65 plus taxes per month. YouTube TV has more channels than the best cloud DVR options. I think I can accept that. Hulu with Live TV's strongest suit for many subscribers is its significant catalog of on-demand content. Exclusive titles such as The Handmaid's Tale give it a content advantage other services can't watch. The three remaining live TV streaming services I'll be reviewing today are Sling TV, Fubo TV, and that's with a small f, and AT&T TV. I'll look at Sling TV first. Sling TV is owned by Dish Network. It has two main packages, Sling Orange and Sling Blue, each priced at $35 a month. You can combine the two packages for $50 a month, giving you access to all 50 plus channels offered. It does not offer additional family member user profiles, however. Except for perhaps 8 important channels, the two packages largely overlap. Now, the overlapping channels include Food Network, Lifetime, AMC, and CNN. Disney and ESPN are only included in Sling Orange. Sling Blue offers NFL Network and a slate of Fox-owned and NBC channels. Orange doesn't offer local channels, so if you want to watch local nightly news, Sling Blue is the only way to go. You want to remember that. Sling TV offers 50 hours of cloud DVR and fast forwarding over pre-recorded commercials and content in the cloud DVR. Increasing the cloud DVR to 200 hours costs an additional $5 a month. CNET.com calls Sling TV the best streaming for the money. This is probably true for people with limited resources, and I'm sure I could live with it if I had to. On the other hand, to match my YouTube TV, Sling TV's options would easily transport me to over $100 a month. That's compared to the $65 plus taxes I pay now. Sling TV also offers a streaming device called the Air TV Mini that costs $80 and it's optimized for Sling. Now listen to this. Using Lowcast, a donation-supported streaming service that operates in more than 30 US cities. You know, I've told you about that before. Sling TV users can find local broadcast TV channels integrated into their Sling TV channel guide. Users will also have access to their Netflix account through the Air TV Mini. This is the picture at the right is a picture of Sling TV's screen, and the Air TV Mini is at the bottom. Fubo TV is the fourth live streaming service I'll be talking about. Fubo TV is pricey, but worth it if you want a lot of channels and a gobs of sports. The starter channel package is $65 plus taxes per month for around 100 channels. Now, this includes 250 hours of cloud DVR and 3 simultaneous streams. That number is fairly constant, you know, among the different services. The Elite channel package is $80 plus taxes per month for around 150 channels and even more sports. This package includes 46 entertainment channels, 1,000 hours of cloud DVR, and 10 simultaneous streams. Fubo TV includes local network channels like ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox, but of course not PBS. CNET.com claims there's a lot to like about Fubo TV, noting that its sports focus makes it especially attractive to soccer fans in particular. CordcuttersNews.com reported on July 1st, just a couple weeks ago, that Fubo TV dropped 6 A&E channels from its lineup, including A&E, the History Channel, Lifetime, and the Lifetime Movie Network. It notified customers saying, sometimes in order to continue bringing you new programming and features, we need to make adjustments to our channel TV lineup. CordcuttersNews.com commented that while the move isn't surprising, customers are still hoping for the return of channels dropped a year ago that included TNT, Turner Network Television, TBS, CNN, True TV, HLN Headline News, TCM, and the Cartoon Network. Obviously, carrying sports channels is very expensive. At the right, you'll see a typical view of the Fubo TV home screen. Finally, if live TV streaming cost is no objective, you might love AT&T TV. AT&T offers no less than 4 channel packages plus 3 bundle packages that include internet service. It'll take you a week to learn about all the offers. Their starter entertainment package is 65 plus channels and 40,000 plus on-demand shows and movies for $70 plus taxes per month. Their choice package is $85 for 90 channels. The ultimate package is $95 plus, $95 for 130 plus channels. And their premier package is $140 for 140 or more channels. Each of the 3 more expensive packages have increasing amounts of on-demand shows and movies, which finally top out at $65,000 in the most expensive package. Also, 3 simultaneous streams and 1 free year of HBO Max is included in these 3 more expensive packages. AT&T has a well-designed streaming device they would love subscribers to rent at $5 a month or buy at around $50. However, regular streaming devices like Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and so forth do work perfectly. CNET.com rates AT&T TV as best for channel flippers and sports fans and recommends the $85 choice package because it has access to more RSNs, regional sports networks, than some of its competitors. In the final analysis, live TV streamers have an abundance of choice in picking out a service that works best for them. I became a cord cutter nearly 4 years ago and absolutely love the TV viewing flexibility it brings me. Another thing, TV aficionados who are used to 5.1 channel, I kind of covered that up, 5.1 channel surround sound, which is offered by cable and broadcast TV might be disappointed to learn that all of the live TV streaming services only include stereo sound. Should have underlined that. However, 5.1 audio is available on some on-demand content. If you're contemplating subscribing to a live TV streaming service, I urge you to do a free trial, but be sure to keep good records when you sign up in the event you later decide to cancel. Well, that's my tech talk for today, and I am sticking with it. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, and God willing, we'll see you next week.
That was very good, Dewey. Thanks so much for doing that. That was a lot of good information. That was very interesting about Sling TV. So hopefully, as everyone knows, we record all this, and also Dewey's segment is online already. So you'll be getting copies of that as a standalone a YouTube video, or it will be part of of course, our show. So thanks so much for doing that. Well done.
Thank you.
Ray, are you ready to roll?
Let me try this. Yes. Now today, what I'm going to do is I prepared my comments with a PowerPoint presentation, and I'm going to let's just give it a test and see if my speeds out here in the hinterlands can handle it. If not, I'll stop it and do it live. But I'd like to try it with sharing my sound here. Good morning, Tech for Seniors. Today I'm going to talk about Amazon's new Vinyl of the Month Club. And I'm going to see if any of you might have an interest in this. So this is a service that I really believe is for those beginning the hobby of record collecting. And I'll tell you why. Here's how the Vinyl of the Month Club works. After you sign up and agree to pay $24.99 monthly, you receive a newly pressed record for your collection every month with free shipping. Typically, these records might retail on Amazon for as much as $20 more than that price, than your monthly subscription price. However, you won't know what record you will receive, other than it will be a classic as defined by Amazon from what they call the golden era of vinyl, basically the 1960s and 1970s. Now, Amazon does allow the return if the record is still sealed and unused. So a wise person would check YouTube or a streaming service if the LP artist they received is unfamiliar to them before removing the shrink wrap. Now, this is a service that's separate from Amazon Prime, and you can cancel it at any time. So do you think Amazon's Vinyl of the Month Club will be successful? Well, I believe our general music taste has much to do with our age and where we were raised. And for most of us, this evolves and matures over time as we do. So the Amazon Vinyl of the Month Club, I'll be honest, has limited appeal to me, as I would prefer to take my own money and make my own decisions on the music that I purchase. I'm guessing, however, Amazon has estimated there may be many younger folks who in the 21st century want to experience the joy and basically the physical involvement of playing a vinyl record as their parents and even their grandparents once did, but do not know where to start music-wise. So the Vinyl of the Month Club may be a viable solution for them. Now, music subscription services are not new, but there are new ones. Let me explain. Who remembers the Columbia House Record Club? This began as a U.S. mail order record club starting back in the 1950s, and it's evolved over the years, and believe it or not, Columbia House continues today with shipping of CDs of your choice for $6.99 each, although they are not accepting any new members. Now, there are new subscription clubs for records. Typically, you create a profile detailing the music you like, and the service sends you a vinyl record they think you will enjoy. Now, here's a service that might be considered in some respects similar to Amazon's, and it's called vinyl.org, and that's spelled VNYL. That is not a typo. And so there's a positive feature of this service is they allow you to connect your music streaming account. Let's say you have Spotify. This way they can have a better representation of the music you like and enjoy by seeing what you've called up on Spotify. However, the negative feature is they do not allow you to return records, even if you already have the release in your collection. Another service is called Vinyl Moon. That's vinylmoon.co, not .com, but .co. Again, not a typo. Now, I believe this organization is more about the label and the sleeve design than the actual music contained on the records. Just take a look at the artwork here, not only on the record sleeve, but look how the actual discs appear. So we had this service for about a month or so, and my wife bought it for me, and I really didn't go out of my way to play the music, so we stopped it. But I certainly wanted to keep these LPs just for their terrific and fantastic design. Now, a statistic worth mentioning again. I've said it before and I'll say it again. In 2020, vinyl records outsold CDs for the first time since 1986. Time we all thought vinyl records were on their way out. Now, that being the case, what does the future hold for music in the car? Will I have to update my presentation on this topic? Are we going back to the future? Yeah, that's actually an LP record player in the car, and many other cars back in the 57, 58, 1959 tried their hand at 45 RPM players in the car. But as we all know, none of them lasted a long time. I could just see what happens going over a bumpy road in a car like that. Now, one last thing, this is a PS. Here's an online article that came to my attention this past week that are definitely worth reading. Now, unless you are a record or CD or digital music collector in the specific genre of 1950s vocal groups like I am, you probably have never heard of Mr. Val Shively and what many consider the world's greatest record store. Well, the prestigious Smithsonian Magazine saw fit to write an extensive article about this man in the current July-August 2021 edition, and his music shop, R&B Records in West Philadelphia, that has over 4 million, again, not a typo, 4 million 45 RPM records on hand. Now, for all of us who love technology, Val Shively is a man who still does not use a computer to keep track of such a collection. Can you imagine? So I will put the following link in the chat box today. So those of you that are interested, and again, to me, it's a very worthwhile reading. Even the pictures are fantastic of this article. So take a look in the chat. You'll see this link, copy it, and hope you enjoy it. And that's it for now, the end, and I'll see you later. Thank you. All
It's
right,
pretty good.
One last thing, I want to just show you really quick what Val Shively's store looks like. So
Oh my gosh.
he has a few records there. They're all 45s, and that's just a small part of his collection.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let me stop sharing, and thank you very much.
That's great, Ray. Well, listen, we'll have to keep an eye on this Amazon thing and see if we can follow up and find out how is it going to be successful or not. I mean, I just have to believe that Amazon isn't going to do something that won't be successful, right?
Absolutely. Again, I think it's really geared at newbies to record collecting and who may not know, what do I want to get? Well, now Amazon will make that decision for them.
There we go. Thanks a lot, Ray. That was great. And it came across great. Your internet was fine. It was good. Yeah, it was great.
Good.
Bob, are you going to tell us how to install Windows 11?
I hope so. So I have a Dell Inspiron 7786, which is about 2 years old. And when I ran the test to see whether or not I could get the upgrade to Windows 11, I was very surprised, and it said, no TPM2 chip. That was disappointing. But I don't give up that easy. So I've done some research. And Dell actually doesn't have a TPM chip in a Dell. It's called something different. In order to set your Dell up, if it's fairly new and it comes up and tells you there's no TPM chip, don't give up. Go into the BIOS. And for me to get into the BIOS, I had to hit the F2 key repeatedly as soon as I rebooted the system. And then it went into the BIOS. Once you get to the BIOS, in the Dell, you're looking for something that's called PTT, Platform Trusted Technology. It's the same as TPM. It is still the trusted technology. Needless to say, this was turned off. I ran into one other problem. In the BIOS settings under Advanced Boot Options, the Enable Legacy option ROMs was turned on. If that's turned on, as it states here, if Legacy option ROM can't be enabled if you want PTT to work. So make sure that the Legacy option ROM is unchecked. If that's checked, it won't work. This needs to be unchecked, as you see in this photo here. Once this is unchecked, then you can go down to PTT Security under Security Settings, and you can now turn on PTT. Turn it on. Once it's on, save your setting and reboot the system. After the system got rebooted, surprise, surprise, that computer is now fully ready to run Windows 11. It is compatible. And actually, that computer right now is in the process of updating to the preview release of Windows 11. Stay safe, be free. I hope this helps. And
I know there'll be, sorry.
You're now watching all of this on that Windows 11 computer.
Right.
Okay, so yes, it worked. Yes, I'm now running Windows 11 on this because I'm an insider. So I always get new technology as quickly as possible, but it's not my main computer. That one is behind me. It is still running Windows 10. And that one, unfortunately, it will never run Windows 11. It just doesn't have the architecture to run Windows 11.
So I think there will be a lot of questions about this. We'll do that, of course, in the Q&A part of it, so we can continue on with our schedule now. So, but thank you, Bob. That was great and very interesting stuff, and lots we want to talk about that. So hold that thought, and we will for sure be doing this again, talking about that in the Q&A. All right, I'm going to move on to my section now. I'm just going to. Yes, we'll do that, and we will share our screen again. It's Ron Brown with Tech for Seniors. Vimeo. What's Vimeo? Let's compare this to YouTube. If you're interested, let's watch. Now you know the like and subscribe routine. Please like us. And if you like the videos and want to see more, please subscribe to the channel. What are the similarities between YouTube and Vimeo? Well, they are both video sharing and hosting platforms. The philosophy of both these companies is very similar. They are actually both owned by US companies with head offices in the United States. Vimeo is a publicly traded company. It was recently spun off from a media conglomerate, IAC. Their headquarters is in New York, and in fact, Vimeo was started a year before YouTube in the year of 2004. YouTube, of course, is owned by Google, in California, and they started in 2005. Now, as I have mentioned before, the concept between these two services is pretty similar. YouTube is an excellent service and the one that most of you will probably want to use. But Vimeo has some unique features that may prove beneficial. So let's have a look at this. Well, YouTube is a free service. Yay, free! It is a free service for you to use and upload all your videos, as many as you want, to YouTube. And it is free. Well, or maybe. Let's just look at this a little more carefully. Well, in 2020, the quarterly revenue of YouTube gross was $24 billion over a 3-month period. However, to create $24 billion worth of dollars, they had to spend $16 billion, so their overhead was $16 billion. Globally, Google has 21 data centers around the world, and these are underground cities that employ the best software engineers, security people, etc., and they consume huge amounts of power, so are built close to power plants. So now you're getting the idea. 21 cities underground, thousands of people working in each city. It's very expensive. Also, another interesting statistic you may not know, but only 16.4% of YouTube's traffic comes from the United States. So it's truly a global service. YouTube was watched more last year in the United States than television in 2020. YouTube is the second most searched engine, and people watch over 1 billion hours of YouTube video daily. Wow. So it is a big service. It's used globally. It is very costly to run. So who pays for this? The revenue is generated primarily through ads. Now, if you are a regular YouTube watcher, you probably have noticed that there have been more ads that are longer and increasing frequency. And this is directly related to the increasing costs I mentioned earlier in YouTube providing this service. Again, it's free to you, but they have to pay the bills. And this means there is more ads to be placed, and their ad revenue has to go up. So let's zoom on this a bit. With increasing costs, of course, there are more ads. Now ads are being placed in non-monetized videos. Essentially what this means is if you upload a video, Google can place ads in it and you have no say. This can get frustrating for consumers. Let's look at YouTube Premium. For $10 a month US, you can subscribe to YouTube Premium, and this is ad-free. Now, this is not YouTube TV. YouTube TV is a totally separate product and nothing to do with YouTube per se. So $10 a month, $120 US a year, you get ad-free YouTube. So is YouTube really free? Let's think about that. How else does YouTube make money? Well, YouTube creators have a contract with Google. And the contract is this. They get 30% of everything. 30%. Yes. You'll see this year a new feature coming out in Google called memberships. So you'll soon be able to create memberships through your Google channel. This is very easy to do, and you can set either a free membership or you can set the price. But again, Google will take 30%. Google has a partners program, and with AdSense, you can actually put advertising into your uploaded videos, and Google will pay you. But again, they take 30%. They take 30% of any of your stickers or super chat money that you get. So yes, you can make money, but Google's going to take 30%. Do I have copyright ownership of my YouTube videos? Well, here's the legal answer right from YouTube. You retain all of your ownership rights in your content. However, by submitting content to YouTube, you hereby grant YouTube a worldwide, non-exclusive, royalty-free, sub-license, and transferable license to use, redistribute, prepare derivative works of, display, and perform the content in connection with the service and YouTube's business, including without limitation or promoting and redistributing part or all of this service and derivative works thereof in any media formats and through any media channels. Whoa, what's all that mean? In summary, in short, you own your masters, but YouTube can do what they want with your video. Now let's look at the download policy of YouTube. This is right in the terms of service. First of all, you are not allowed to download any content, including your own videos. This is actually strictly enforced. So downloading of any video or content off of YouTube is strictly prohibited against their terms of service. There is one exception to that, and that is if you purchase the YouTube Premium service for $10 a month, which we mentioned before, you then can download your own personal videos to your service. The other thing that you should remember when you upload your videos to YouTube is that they are heavily compressed. Now, this is not really a big issue when you're looking at shows like Tech for Senior, but it could be a problem if you are a cinematographer and you're uploading your creations to YouTube so that they could be previewed by different organizations, or if you're a media creator. So you have to remember that your videos are heavily compressed and changed when you're uploading them to YouTube. The other issue is that YouTube is account specific. In other words, you personally create an account, and this account allows you to have a YouTube channel and upload videos. Now, there are many situations in which you would want to give multiple access to that account, and maybe a group of people would want to work on the same project. And this is giving multiple users access. Well, this is technically possible. It is not easy to do and often problematic. And one of the big differences between YouTube and Vimeo. All right, let's look at Vimeo. Vimeo is a paid service. It is a paid service for the creator. The creator pays to upload their videos. It is a free service for the viewer. Vimeo's costs are a tiered service depending on your resources that you need. I'm not going to go into the specifics as this is available on their webpage, but it's generally the amount you pay is based on how much you upload. It's based on how many customization features you want. It's based on the number of team members. Remember I said that YouTube was very account specific. Vimeo, you can assign team members to be part of your organization, and that links into your Vimeo account. Again, it depends on the amount of live streaming you do. And remember, you can publish simultaneously to Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, and Shopify. So it is tightly integrated into multiple services. There's no advertising. Yay! Not a bit. No advertising on Vimeo. And that, of course, is because you are paying for this. This is a paid service. Who owns your content? As between you and Vimeo, you own and will retain ownership of all intellectual property rights in and to the content you submit. In order to allow Vimeo to host and stream your content, you grant Vimeo permission. But you basically still own all the property rights to your content. Videos are uploaded uncompressed. Uncompressed. And they will be, and certainly there's no restriction on downloading. So you can upload them uncompressed, as large as you want, and you can download them. This is really a big feature for cinematography. There is excellent customization with Vimeo, and it allows advanced embedding into external sites, which allows you to sell your videos. This is an example of Lazy Gecko Sailing Adventures Season 6. They have produced a number of videos and have created a way of selling these through Vimeo. Vimeo makes it very easy to add front-end customization, allowing you to sell your videos. This can also be integrated into various payment services at a fraction of the cost this would cost you to do on YouTube. This is so cool. It is great. So if you make a video and you publish the video, it is most likely the information will change over time and you'd like to update the video. Now, this is not possible on YouTube. You can't update a video on YouTube. You actually have to remove the video and put a new video up, which means, of course, your hierarchy in the algorithm changes, all your likes change, and any promotional benefit you've got from that video is removed. So you can't really update a video on YouTube, but you can on Vimeo. Yes, you can just update your video and repost it to the same link. Very cool feature, particularly if you have online courses that you're doing and you want to keep these courses updated. Vimeo On Demand's feature, of course, lets you market your videos worldwide. As I've said earlier, it allows you to create a paywall in which you can market and sell your videos. So if you have online courses or you have any services that you want to charge for, you can put the videos into Vimeo, and it makes it very easy with their integration into either your website or any of the other services to allow you to sell your videos. Now, the problems. Well, YouTube searches are limited to YouTube. So if you do a search on YouTube, you won't find any videos on Vimeo. Now, you can put a Vimeo link in your YouTube description. So at the bottom of your video in YouTube, you can say, and to purchase my videos, follow this link. So there is that availability. You can use the advanced integration of Vimeo into your own website. So Vimeo makes it very easy to take the uploaded videos on Vimeo and integrate it into whatever service you're doing, such as a website. And this is a way in which you could get publicity and get your videos known. Because searching in Vimeo, because of the much smaller numbers than YouTube, it's unlikely that you're going to get a huge number of search results. Ron Brown with Tech for Seniors, Vimeo versus YouTube. Please remember to like and subscribe, and until we see you again, have a great day. All right, again, if there's any questions about that, we'll do that in the question and answer service. For those of you who are, Ray, I'll have you up just next. For those of you who are on our streaming service, thank you for coming. We'll see you again in another week. There is lots of room over here on our Zoom link. So if you want to come over and join us in the Q&A, that's fine. Ray, I will let you get going.
All right. Who remembers Susan Boyle?
Ah!
How technology made her a star and an internet sensation. And it's actually more than a dozen years ago that this unknown Scottish singer took to the competition stage on Britain's Got Talent. But before uttering a musical note, she was met with a cynical attitude by the audience as well as the judges who, pardon the pun, prejudged her mostly on her somewhat, word of the day, frumpy appearance. Now, during the interview, Susan commented that she aspired to become a professional singer as successful as Elaine Paige. Now, Elaine Paige is an English singer and actress who I had not heard of before, but is well known in Britain's musical theater circles. Susan then sang I Dreamed a Dream from Les Miserables, and all were astonished and amazed and suitably impressed by her exceptional vocal range and performance. For me, this was the best modern day example of the old axiom, don't judge a book by its cover. Now, according to Wikipedia, websites such as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter have been critical in facilitating Boyle's rapid rise to fame. The YouTube video of her Britain's Got Talent 2009 performance had, and this is where today's technology has changed the music scene so very much. It had nearly 2.5 million views just in the first 3 days, 66 million views within a week, set an online record at the time. 103 million video views. 103 million video views on 20 different websites was reached within 9 days. Susan's audition was the most watched YouTube video of the year 2009 with over 120 million views, more than 3 times higher than the second most popular video. So Susan went on to release 8 studio albums and even participated in a stage musical about her life. So today's musical clip has Susan's Dream Come True, where she performs a duet with her idol, Elaine Page. And the link, of course, is going to be in the newsletter. And additionally, in the newsletter that you receive on Tuesday, I'm going to have the link to her original performance on Britain's Got Talent. So let me now go to the... Okay, I hope everyone enjoyed that.
Sure did.
Well done, Ray. That's great. For everyone to remember, those tunes will be added to Ray's playlist. Those of you who subscribe to the newsletter, who view our Tuesday edition, will be able to copy the link, and you will have Ray's playlist, and those 2 songs will be on there. Thanks so much, Ray. That's great. Well done. It is now top of the hour. It is we've another hour's gone by. Oh my gosh. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. I want you to have a great week. Of course, we're going to start our question and answer period now. For those of you who have, we usually like you to click the little button under reactions at the bottom there. You'll see what.
Oh, he raised his hand again.
We'll see where the and what we'll do is we will we'll be able to answer questions, and whether it's about Vimeo or Windows 11 or about Susan Doyle or whatever, we will have a great time. So let's start. Let's see who's on the list. Now, apparently we can do this. Carl, you are first. So Carl, go ahead.
Okay, good. I had to unmute. First of all, I want to give a shout out and thanks to Bill James for helping me with my SSD drive formatting. He sent some good information from Microsoft, which gave good details on how to format a SSD drive using a disk manager, which, by the way, I had never heard of disk manager until I attempted this process of trying to upgrade my laptop with an SSD drive. As it turns out that he really helped. And the way he really helped was that when I tried to follow the directions from Disk Manager on initializing my solid state drive, I couldn't do it. So that led me to think, what's going on here? Turned out I had already formatted the drive using the Samsung program that came with, or you download it from Samsung. So that led me then to find out what was going on. And making a long story short, I had to reboot a couple of times. And after the second reboot, everything is formatted and all the information is mirror imaged on my SSD drive. The next step, which I haven't gotten into, is replacing the solid state, the existing drive with the SSD. But thanks again for making that happen, Bill James.
Well, Bill, of course, will be on Tech for Senior Live this week, and he will be able to answer any questions you have. So if you have a lot of questions for Bill, we like to stump Bill. He's always hard to stump, but I want you to, if you're going to be on Tech for Senior Live this Thursday, I want you to give Bill some tough questions. I want to see him work this week. And we're going to give away some prizes Thursday morning as well. What's he got there? I can't see it. It's out of focus. I can't. He's got a new toy. He probably bought another gadget. So he'll tell us all about that. He'll tell us all about that on Thursday morning.
Yeah, just one closing remark. I have I'm not using it now, but it was a backup drive from Seagate, and it's a big box. It's 1 terabyte. I bought it, I don't know, a number of years ago. And for the curiosity, I weighed this new Samsung SSD drive, and I used my postage meter scale. It weighs 1.6 ounces. Now, can you imagine how many drives you can ship from Korea when they're only 1.6 ounces?
1.6, yeah, for sure. Yes, Murray, you have a question.
I'm just going to mention that, yeah, when I ordered my SSD, yeah, it was 1.6 ounces, but it came in a box that was about 2 feet square.
Oh yeah, you got it shipped by Amazon. Yeah, mine did too. Yeah.
Anyway, well, I have a couple of things. The very first one is I had not been able to back up my wife's Mac computer since June 21st. The Time Machine, it was 3 terabytes. It was using 200 megabytes, and it said it was full. Okay, then also every time I turned around, the computer said your software needs to be updated from iOS 11.3 to 11.4. Every time I tried to do it, it would, you'll do the download, which took about 23 minutes. The last time when it finished, it said download failed. And I watched it count down right to 0 downloading, and it did this every time. Well, after many return emails to our local Apple guru, not getting anywhere, I spent 2 hours on live chat with these the Apple people, and the solution was, and this is for anybody else who's having trouble updating to 11.4 or with their Time Machine, try downloading iOS 11.4 from the App Store instead of going through the usual update procedure. And for me, that worked. And hopefully, if anybody else is having that problem, it's very frustrating. Then I have a question for you, Ron. I was called away to the phone while you were talking about your vinyl records. Did you say you're taking a box of vinyl records down south to somebody?
We have a box of vinyl records up in our storage unit and storage room, and it's sitting there, and they're all LPs, and like, I know they're worth something. Maybe Ray would like them. I mean, I don't really know what to do with them. Ray sort of says I should try and sell them online, and has given me some ideas, but at the end of the day, I don't want to do that stuff. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I haven't decided yet. Why?
Okay. Well, I just decided. I just wanted to say, if you're taking them down to Ray, I just sold, as part of my downsizing efforts, I just sold my turntable. So the multi-year project that I had that I never got more than about 2 records done of converting them to digital hasn't been completed. And I have, I think, 2 boxes of vinyl records. And I thought, if you're taking a box south when you go.
No, I'm not taking any more. Forget it. I'm not hauling any. I got a big truck, but I'm not hauling any.
Okay, well, if I find a way to sell them, I sold a few for $1 each at a garage sale a couple weeks ago. But if I find a way of selling them in bulk,
you'll let us know.
I'll let you know too, because you're close enough to Victoria, you could do it.
Yeah, pick them up. Yeah. Hewie, you had a question. Are you? What was
actually not a question so much as some comments. There's a lot of things going on in technology that I didn't want to wait till Thursday to talk about. The first one, of course, was yesterday. Richard Branson from Galactica. He went out to space in his own vehicle and came back.
Right.
That was yesterday. And later this month, Jeff Bezos, his brother, somebody who, some millionaire who entered a contest, a bidding contest, and a former astronaut, there'll be 4 of them, are going up in the Bezos-owned rocket up into space later this month as well. So those are two that are they're actually going out and testing it. Also, on the 15th, Microsoft has an announcement which they've been holding very close to the vest, and it's by some of the pundits are considering are thinking that it might be cloud PC, Windows on the cloud may be announced, and we'll have to see. And that's probably going to be during our Tech for Senior Live. So I don't know that I'll have the answer when we start or during the show, but it'll be sometime that same day.
And Branson has 3,000 people on his waiting list who've all paid $250,000 deposit.
I know. Yes, and Hewie, I just posted a bunch of articles over on our Facebook page. For those of you who have forgotten, we have a Tech for Senior has a Facebook page where we post all the latest in technology. And I posted some very interesting articles there, including some crazy deals right now on Amazon for earbuds, and a new medical technology, which I'm going to talk about, which may change the way in which we do diagnostic imaging. This is just a brand new discovery that was made. Again, it's over on our Facebook page. Marcia, you've got something to, you've got your hand up.
Ron, I was just wondering, I really use the transcription on YouTube videos a lot. Does Vimeo also provide the transcription of the videos that you upload?
I'm not sure. I mean, you can certainly, there are a lot of services that you can certainly transcribe from, and certainly I do that all the time with Word, with Microsoft Word Online. It will transcribe them. And the nice thing about Vimeo is, of course, it's not against the policy to download them. So you can download any video that you want, and it's in an MP4. And of course, Word will transcribe that. And I use that all the time. Word just transcribes it for you and gives you instantly, and gives you a text does that. So I'm not sure specifically if Vimeo does that. I don't know the answer to that, but it's very easy to do, and much easier because, of course, you have the ability to download whatever you want, right?
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. Dorothy, go ahead.
Murray and anybody else that has LP records and stuff, several years ago, I couldn't find a record player. So I donated over 200 LP albums to my local library. And like I said, I live in Oklahoma, USA. And I was able to take $1 up to the maximum allowed off of my income taxes for making a charitable donation. So y'all that want to get rid of your records, you might think about that. I don't know about British Columbia, whether you can do that kind of stuff or not, but I do know it worked in Oklahoma. And I took it off my federal tax too.
Dorothy, I just did a search on YouTube, and there are a lot of vinyl record players on YouTube right now. I think that Ray would probably attest to that it looks like there is a big comeback in LP.
Well, yeah. Right after I gave all my records away.
Yeah.
Let me actually just take a quick second to mention a site called, and I've done this before, Discogs. It's DISCOGS, discogs.com. And it's a place where people buy and sell LPs and all kinds of records all the time. And if you have an album and maybe you say, this might be worth some money. Maybe it's a Beatles album there. The Butcher cover is a whole other story of one of their albums that's worth thousands of dollars. The point is, you can go on Discogs, just type in the album name and come back. You'll receive the information as to how it's sold in the last month, the high point, the low point, the midpoint, and that way is the best example of finding out what your LPs are worth.
Are you going to put that link in the chat area?
It's no worry. It's called discogs.com.
Discogs. Okay.
Right. DISCOGS.com.
I wish I'd known this 18 years ago.
Ray, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So in the original Susan Boyle, when she played in the British show, she of course was very frumpy looking, and and then came out with this incredible voice, right? So this was part of the show. And I guess, do you think, so the question here is, do you think they made her look more frumpy? Do you think there was a visual appearance of that just so that the wow factor would just, there'd be such a difference between the two? Because I mean, it really was quite spectacular. And they could have done a lot better on her original makeup. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think there was?
Yeah, these reality shows like Britain's Got Talent and some of the US ones, I'm always thought that they add something to the storyline to make it more dramatic.
Right.
And so definitely that could be the case. But I don't think most of it was pre-planned. I don't think the judges heard her sing first or not.
Oh, okay.
I think that was a natural reaction.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. Yeah. Murray, did you have more questions?
Yeah, I just want to mention that I don't think we can do that income tax deal here in Canada very easily. It's really hard to get to do donation and get an income tax receipt is really difficult. Most people won't do it because it's just, and what you get for an income tax donation isn't worth even doing it, even thinking about it. But donating them to the library, I will call the library and see if they want them. But I never thought of that. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions we have? So those of you who are interested, give of course the video will be up, the Vimeo video that I did today. Of course, it's on our channel again. So if you are interested in using an alternative service, or particularly if you are a creator, so suppose you created let's say you learned to fly, suppose drones, for example, and you did an 8-part series on drones and how to fly drones, and you wanted to sell your product, right? That would be a very good service for you to use because it's very easy for you to upload it and to do that. So just keep that in mind. In doing the research on this and looking at it, it's really quite an amazing service that I really didn't know a lot about. So it's pretty cool. So think about that as an alternative. Most people won't want to use it, but if you have a specific use for it, it's great. The other thing is, Bob, Windows 11. Wow. So your thoughts on Windows 11 so far?
To me, there's no difference, except there are some things you need to learn. Something have changed how you access certain items within Windows. But if you know Windows 10, no big deal. There's an upgrade. There's a difference in eye appeal. And to me, anything you do to change the appearance of something, I just want it to function. Changing it for the sake of change, to me, was never a good idea. Although some people like that eye appeal pop.
Right.
Yeah, when the Windows 11 was first announced, everybody was all real excited and complaining about the fact that their computers weren't going to be able to go to it.
Right.
Then it turns around when they can't go to it. Now they're all saying they're trying to find ways in which their computers that run Windows 11, how to make it look like Windows 10. So no one is happy, no matter which way you go with it.
I just posted a video today on one of the features within Windows 11 and how some of those changes, there are some definite changes. And one of them I mentioned was the fact that you have your bar is in the middle instead of being on the left. And there's big discussions. Well, yeah, you can put it back to the left. But if you want to learn a new system, learn a new system or stay with the old one. It's up to you to decide what you want to do. Windows 10 isn't going anywhere until 2025. That's a long time. Some of us won't be here in 2025. Why worry about it?
The other thing,
I have one last question for Bob, if I may. On the Insider program, can I use a computer, an older, say with an i5 and an older generation processor?
Just
will the Insider program allow me to download that?
Only if your system is capable of running it. You can be an insider on Windows 10 and get the latest updates, but you can't. But you can't run Windows 11 on an insider if your computer isn't capable of running it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So I now have 2 out of my 4 computers that are capable of running. They are actually running Windows 11. The other 2 just never will. Not unless I want to spend money. And if I have to spend money, I might as well get a new one.
Very good. Thank you.
And Carl, we have one quick question left from Carl. It's reached our end of our Q&A time, but Carl, do you have a quick question?
Yeah, a couple of things. I think I mentioned I got a new OnePlus phone through T-Mobile, and it has 5G in my area all the time. But one of the things it does, with the defaults, if you're in the range in my at home Wi-Fi, it switches to Wi-Fi as preference automatically. The second is that I found out something when looking at my photos, that there's a translator. Dorothy was talking about a translator. I had a screen photo of a APUG meeting yesterday, and I turned on this translator, and it read every word, including the little details within the logo of APCUG back to me. I was blown away.
Amazing, eh? All right, listen, Murray's left. We're going to end the show now. It's thank you for coming, everyone. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Don't forget to watch Tech for Senior live on Thursday. Maybe win the prize. We've got some prizes now. Of course, the famous Bill James will be here today, be on Thursday, and he'll talk about, I want you to stump him. I want you to give him a question he can't answer. And then he's going to talk all about his new gadget he just bought, which will be cool. And so we're going to have a great time on Thursday. And Hewie's not going to be here. What do you want to talk about?
Wednesday is the APCUG summer events. I'm doing Evernote, and then Mark Schulman from Central Florida Group is going to be doing OneNote following it, so you can get a comparison of them. And that's this week. The message went out saying it was the 17th. It isn't. It's the 14th, and you have to register online to get a link. Please do so.
Okay, thank you, everyone. We will see everybody in a week's time. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you next Monday. Bye now.
Glad I made it. Bye, everybody.
Okay, bye-bye.